Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Osama Hussein, and if you want to know the history of your morning ritual, you are in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you the history of coffee across different regions. Good morning. Take a moment and just breathe in the aroma of that coffee. That rich, dark smell, it's the universal signal for starting the day, for a quick break, for a conversation. But what if I told you that every single cup we drink today can trace its lineage back to one place, one forest, and one incredibly curious goat herder? Welcome to Ethiopia, the cradle of civilization, and more importantly for us, the original home of coffee. Our story doesn't begin in the modern cafe, but in the misty, high-altitude forests of the Kaffa region. Nearly 12 centuries ago, it's a tale of Kaldi, a humble herder whose curiosity about his unusually energetic and dancing goats led him not just to a red berry, but to a global phenomenon that would forever change how humanity wakes up, socializes, and works. Let's step back in this time and discover the true birthplace of your morning ritual. Early history of Ethiopian coffee. According to Ethiopian legend, coffee was discovered in the 9th century by a young goat herder from the Kaffa region named Kaldi. He noticed his goats dancing and acting silly after eating the red berries of unknown shrub. So, Kaldi decided to try the strange fruit himself, and he soon realized that it gave him an energy boost. Kaldi excitedly shared his discovery with the local monks, who, despite initial skepticism, eventually soaked the red berries in hot water. They found that the resulting beverage not only tasted delicious but also kept them awake during long nights of prayer. The rise of Ethiopian coffee. It wasn't until the 15th century that coffee began to be cultivated in Ethiopia. Before, coffee beans were just harvested from coffee plants growing naturally in the wild. But by the 16th century, cultivation techniques had been established, and coffee was being grown as a commercial crop. At the same time, trade with neighboring countries, particularly Yemen, enabled Ethiopia to share its coffee with the rest of the world. By the 18th century, the cultivation of coffee had become a major industry in Ethiopia. The country was producing some of the finest beans in the world and exporting them to other countries for consumption. As coffee production spread, so did Ethiopian coffee culture. Cafes began to spring up in the major cities, offering a place for people to come together and enjoy a hot cup of coffee. In addition, Ethiopian coffee ceremonies, elaborate rituals involving the preparation and serving of coffee, become a regular part of the daily life. These ceremonies, which still take place today, involve the roasting over fire, followed by grinding and brewing of the beverage in ornately decorated jabana pots. It's a time to connect with friends, family, and community members over a shared cup of coffee. The first written references. Brewed coffee, a dry, roasted, ground soft drink, is referred to as buna in Amharic, bun in Tigrinya, buna in Oromia, buno in Kaficho, and kafa in Guraginya. Arabic scientific documents dating from around 900 AD refer to a drunken drink in Ethiopia known as buna. This is one of the earliest references to Ethiopian coffee in its brewed form. It is recorded that in 1454 the Mufti of Eden visited Ethiopia and saw them drinking their own homemade drink. They were much impressed by the drink, which cured them of their suffering. On their approval, they made coffee popular among the dervishes of Yemen, who used it in religious ceremonies and subsequently introduced in the city of Mecca. The activity and policies concerning coffee in Ethiopia have changed significantly under different regimes. Reflecting the shifting political and economic ideologies of the time, here is a short overview of the major periods. Imperial era, Emperor Menelik II and Haile Selassie I. Menelik II, coffee became increasingly important as an export crop. Infrastructure projects like the installation of railway and the opening of the port in Djibouti facilitated its commercial logistics. The conquest of coffee-growing regions like Harar also made it a major trade hub. Haile Selassie I. The government engaged in a slow modernization of the sector, accelerating coffee production for international markets. Wealthy landowners flourished, and large estates held unchecked economic rivalry over poor smallholders. Coffee became a crucial source of foreign exchange. Around 40% of total exports in the 1960s and 70s funding national development program. The Derg regime, the military Marxist dictatorship. In this period, nationalization and centralization, the regime implemented Marxist nationalization policies. Coffee farms were consolidated into a large collective state farms, and the government control was a highly centralized regulatory regime. Was the Ethiopian Coffee Marketing Corporation (ECMS) was given to a near monopoly over coffee exports, controlling prices and distribution. The TPLF EPRDF era and the post-2018 reforms. Market liberalization. The government began transitioning the coffee sector towards market liberalization, dismantling the ECMC's monopoly and allowing private traders and cooperatives to participate in exports. Ethiopian Commodity Exchange, established in 2008, a significant reform was the establishment of the ECX, which introduced a modern trading system aimed at improving price transparency and reducing transaction costs. This system centralized all coffee trade, requiring farmers to sell through the ECX, with some later modification for cooperatives and direct sales. And the current status of coffee remains the largest source of export revenue for Ethiopia, with the majority of production still coming from smallholders using traditional low input model. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. See you, goodbye.